Rick Stroud's been all over this. He covers the Buccaneers for the Tampa Bay Times. Rick, how do you think Buccaneer fans are feeling right now after that news from Tom Brady?
Dan, I'll make it easy for you. Hell yes. This is a franchise that hasn't been relevant since 2002 when they won the Super Bowl. They've missed the playoffs, and by a lot, 12 straight years. So TB12 and TB, yeah, I mean, they're all about it. Now, we can't have nice things, right? That's the whole thing in Tampa. The hockey team wins the President's Trophy and loses in 4 games. The Rays win 97, and now they're talking about going to Montreal. So, everybody's sort of like, if you're a fan here, you don't want to give your heart to this. But from an organizational standpoint, I mean, I would just say this, consider Bruce Arians having coached Peyton Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, Carson Palmer, Andrew Luck. When Tom Brady, starts asking around and he looks at this football team, if it's a football decision, I think it's an easy one. Now, the Chargers are 1 year removed, from being 12-5. I don't know Anthony Lynn that well. I mean, L.A., it's his home state. But I've kind of felt for a while that, that the Bucs are really a place that he could end up. And I know it sounds ridiculous in some ways, the Patriots to the Bucs, but that's where we're at.
But also, I'm trying to figure that when Tampa's all in, or at least that's the report, all in, and I think you had this report. What does all in mean? Well,
what it means is that they're not going to be outbid in terms of salary. I mean, they had almost over $80 million in salary cap space. That probably went up a little bit. Like I said, I think what it means is they're going to make as good of a pitch as they can possibly make. If he wants, if he's worried about the offense, okay, it's too vertical, not enough protection. I want to run what I do. I don't think that's going to be a problem for Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians has coached a long time. Byron Leftwich will work with Brady for game planning purposes. Clyde Christensen was Peyton Manning's offensive coordinator after Tony Dungy left. They went to a Super Bowl, and Peyton ran Peyton's offense. Now, obviously, they weren't going to change it, but my point is it's something he could get if he wanted, a slot receiver that could work underneath like Edelman or somebody like that. I mean, they would work with him to try to make him comfortable. But there's already lots of weapons here, and they're going to draft a offensive lineman, maybe a running back that can catch. So the defense the last 6 weeks were among the best in the NFL. Those young guys grew up. They re-signed Jason Pierre-Paul. They franchised Shaq Barrett, who led the league in sacks. There are some football pieces here, but it's Tampa Bay. It's like great place to live, all those things. That's what I mean. They're going to sell him, but mostly if he comes, I think it's going to be because of Bruce Arians.
Is Jameis Winston a starting quarterback in the NFL, in your opinion?
I think he's going to have to work his way back to that, Dan. He's got talent. There's no doubt about it. I mean, the guy can absolutely rip the ball down the field. The problem is, and I've had it described to me, he's a slow twitch guy in a quick twitch position. He doesn't make decisions fast enough at times. Most of the throws that get him in trouble are underneath, and he doesn't give up on plays when he should at times. He's a talented guy. He works his ass off. He deserves to start in this league. He's one of the top 32 quarterbacks. I have no doubt about that. But he may have to, go the Ryan Tannehill route and maybe back up a wobbly starter somewhere, and when he gets his chance, light it up.
What's plan B for the Buccaneers if you whiff on Tom Brady?
Well, I think you're going to go from TB12 to TB5. It's going to
Teddy Bridgewater?
Teddy Bridgewater, yeah. which is a big, kind of a shot in the stomach when you look at it that way. But Teddy did a good job against them last year. They played the Saints. He threw for 304 touchdowns. So I remember Bruce Arians coming in after that game saying, man, I love Teddy, and he should be a starter in this league. Well, he may have to give him that opportunity.
Are you here to guarantee that the next quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will have the initials TB?
I think so. I think TB5, TB12 for Tampa Bay. It's made to order, Dan. I think they have to just go ahead and start filling the number later. Just put the TB there.
But I'm worried. This is what I'm worried about with Brady. Does Brady look good in those Tampa Bay uniforms?
Well, here's the thing, Dan. I mean, And they must have been, anticipating this because they're changing them. They're changing the uniform. Can you imagine him walking out, or hell, maybe Giselle, modeling the new ones? I mean, they're going back to the, getting rid of the alarm clock numbers. That was a bad idea.
Yep.
And they're going back to the Super Bowl, block letters, more traditional uniforms.
I think the creamsicle fits Brady. Ricky Bell, Doug Williams, creamsicle.
I love them. I mean, I love those uniforms, but, people hated them when they were losing.
Well, if you win,
they only got good.
If you win,
when they took them off.
But Rick, when you win, it's amazing how good a uniform looks.
I'm telling you, that's absolutely true. So, yeah, I tell you, it won't matter what uniform he wears. If it's Tom Brady, he looks good in anything, right?
Do you think that there's a decision by the end of the week with Tom Brady?
I think that they'll have to be. Well, he can't really sign with anybody, I think, until, Wednesday at 4?
Yeah.
But, I think by the end of the week, look, these teams need to know. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater, is going to have an opportunity to go someplace. We thought he was going to be a Bear. Why didn't we see that coming, Teddy Bear? But it turned out that, they're going another way. And I imagine that Bridgewater, to some extent, Winston, look, it's not out of the question, okay, that Jameis comes back here. If he goes out, can't find a starting job with starters' money, the Bucs strike out and some free agents, they may have him back. But right now, I know it sounds weird, but Tom Brady, Tampa Bay.
I've guaranteed that the Buccaneers are making the playoffs. I just don't know if I can continue to make that bet if Jameis Winston's the starting quarterback. I have to retract that.
Yeah, I don't know how you could. I mean, he's been here 5 years. He would have made it under the new rules, though, Dan. Doesn't everybody make the playoffs now? I mean, I think they're going to have 12 teams or 14 teams or something like that.
I know.
So I think he'd have made it. Tell you what, he would have made it back in 16 when they were 9-7 under the new rules where everybody gets in. So, he'd have a shot. He's not going to throw 30, will he? If he comes back.
30 touchdowns or 30 interceptions?
30 interceptions. He's
balanced.
what do we got? 2020 for 2020. That's the motto now with his new vision and everything. So.
I love that he gets everybody involved. Offense, defense, the opposition, everybody gets involved with. I think he's the most fascinating player in the NFL because and not in a good way. I can't take my eyes off Jameis Winston when he's out there.
I just remember John Gruden used to talk about quarterbacks. Like, I tell you what, it's like a ride on the Sheikra, man. You know what I mean? He's all over the place. I mean, it is. You can't look down to get a freaking glass of water without seeing somebody running with the ball somewhere. So he is exciting and he has talent, and I really do believe this. I think he'll play 15 years and he's going to find himself in a Super Bowl. I don't know if it's the way Doug Williams did it or Trent Dilfer or what, but everybody that leaves Tampa, as you know, as a quarterback, you got to go to a Super Bowl.
Good poll on the John Gruden impersonation there. I like that.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, 6 years listening to John, more than Frank Caliendo at this point. But, yeah.
Thank you, Rick. We'll be reading. We'll be following. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Dan. Take care.
That's Rick Stroud. He covers the Buccaneers for the Tampa Bay Times.